Appreciate that, Miss Gerda. It's always nice to see you out and about and making friends. She's good at that.
Yeah, she is. She's very personable.
Well, it was not a personable night when Edinburgh High got together with Edinburgh North. That was an intense defensive football game. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think what you saw in that game was Edinburgh basically controlled the first 3 quarters.
Did well.
And North just took over in the 4th.
Yeah, there was, and it started in the 3rd with John Silva's interception return for a touchdown. Here's the thing. North kept pounding field position on EHS, and they had to kick out of their end zone. They'd be at their own 5. I mean, they put pressure on the punter like crazy. They just kind of drove them back. EHS hit its usual big plays, stayed in the ballgame, and had every right to think they could have won.
Yeah, and their defense played.
Oh, they played great, man.
So, but the problem was the offense just couldn't consistently keep a drive going, and the defense was on the field the majority of the night.
Yeah, and I think it wore down. That had North had a 90-yard drive. They were up 14-10, I believe it was. 14-10. No. When North took the lead. When North took the lead, then they went on a 90-yard drive. It had been a 90-play drive. Yeah, it took 4 quarters.
Yeah.
And they just kind of wore them down. So I think that's when you start to see the physicality of North, which is probably that team's strong suit, come into play. Edinburgh has to be really pleased. North had 90 yards in penalties. They had 3 turnovers in the first half, and a couple of interceptions, lost a fumble. But they found a way to win the ball game in a big-time city rivalry game, and they got it done. Now they go to Donna. They better not play that inconsistent at Donna. They'll get beat if they do.
I think Edinburgh showed a blueprint. I mean, we're going to talk about it. In this district, I saw some games last week where the teams that were playing showed blueprints on how to beat the other teams. Because last week, Edinburgh just stymied that awesome running attack of Edinburgh North.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't really get any of those big, huge plays that they normally
Whiteside had 91, and 58 was on one run. I think Adrian had 15 for 48. In other words, they didn't give them much. They ended up with 292, but there were a couple of huge plays. Matt Ramirez, 75-yard touchdown on the second play of the game. Yeah. Here's how the game started. North throws the bomb, the prettiest pass you'll ever see, 7-0. Uh-oh. It didn't end up that way. Edinburgh came back. They got a field goal. They took the lead 10-7. Heck of a football game. The diametrically opposed to the one I'd seen the night before, which is Mercedes and Vets were getting to. But it was a good old-fashioned defensive slugfest. I liked it.
Yeah, it was a lot of hard hitting.
Oh, man.
Just smackdown. It was great. The one thing I can say is that Edinburgh was able to basically dare Edinburgh North to throw the ball, and they didn't really throw the ball well, except for the second
one play
and
then a couple down the road. Yeah. But no, they didn't, and they're going to have to do that against Donna, because I think Donna's getting healthy at the right time. And did you check out what they did to Palmview, man? 24 out of 27 points off the turnovers, a blocked punt. Anthony Gonzalez goes 88 yards with a kickoff for a touchdown. So Donna's playing well right now.
Yeah, they are real well. I think that Donna, especially with that, they've already had their bye week.
Yeah.
So they've had some time to kind of right the ship. And
they've tinkered.
I think that they're in position right now to actually make a run at Edinburgh North and Sherryland.
Aldo Silva is back. He rushed for 100. So they've got plenty of weapons. They're making a lot of things happen on defense. I think potentially it could be a lot like EHS and North. It could be a really good defensive game. Now, where does EHS go from here?
Well, EHS has to play Vela. And
3-2 Vela, who, by the way, is in 4th right now. If the season ended today, they would be in the playoffs. How do you like them?
Yeah. And I think last week, Juarez Lincoln showed, and I was at that game. I know you were at the Vets game on Thursday. I got to see Juarez, who I hadn't seen live.
Yeah.
Martin Diaz. I got to see him play. They can move the ball when they threw to the flats.
Right.
They had a hard time running in the inside with Vela, and Vela has a very good, they can.
Linebacker John Trevino, 14, man, you come up.
They got a great team.
Yeah, so they're 3-2. They got Edinburgh High. Nobody wants to be the first team to lose to the SaberCats. This is going to be a good ball game, I think.
Yeah, and I think what you're going to see is and Vela has Chemo Cavazos or Renato Cavazos.
He's such a clutch kid.
Yeah.
Such a clutch kid. So they're down at the half. What does he do? He breaks off an 86-yard touchdown run. Yeah. There's your anecdote right there, man. Or antidote, as it were.
Yeah, but that's the one thing that Edinburgh is really good at stopping.
Yes, they are.
So I think what we're going to see is another defensive battle. I think we're going to see a lot of penalties.
Yeah, why? A lot of fighting? You say they're going to get some fights?
Yeah, you know how it is.
But is there going to be a frozen bobcat in this mix this year?
I don't know.
I don't think so. I have a feeling they're not going to do that hijinks.
All I know is if you're going to do the stuff like last year, there's a V.
Yeah,
it really looked like a V in the field at Edinburgh.
What did it look like? Kind of like a U?
I'm not sure, but
like a bobby pin that's been bent, or what?
Yeah, I mean, some students have modifications, maybe,
Yeah.
But you got to do it better.
Is that in the Common Core?
Yeah.
Sorry. Hey, so that's going to be a fun game. Economidis staying in town needs to get back on track because they got whipped by Sharyland. There's no two ways to say it.
Yeah, they've got to do something because they're not the same team that started the year.
Well, you know, I say that you're probably right, although I would remind people the two teams that have shut them out are two of the best teams in South Texas, right? Two of the best defenses, right? Edinburgh North beat them 20-0, and Sharyland. That Sharyland defense, I've gotten a chance to look at their film. Aguayo's a big defensive tackle. I like him a lot. This Aaron Serna, 42, is making a lot of plays. Gerardo Davila, that's very hard to say, but I pull it off. Ran an interception back for a touchdown. Landes, made it into the box scores. He's playing both ways now. Yeah. Sharyland's good, man. And who do they play next? Sharyland's got who? Oh, they got at Lincoln. Yeah. Okay, well, we'll see if Lincoln's able to move the ball against that Sharyland defense, which has given up, what, 17 points?
Yeah.
Something like that?
And Sharyland's fast.
Yeah, very fast.
Both sides of the ball. What Juarez had to face against Vela, they're going to have that, but it's going to be supersized.
Yeah, it'll come at them quicker. Yeah. Sharyland's got like 10 receivers who can all catch.
Yeah.
And they're amazing. Oh, well, now we can't get away from Sharyland without mentioning Diego Chrysler, 12 out of 16, 4 touchdowns. Lance Madden got hurt. Chrysler played the rest of the way, and he did a good job.
Yeah, he did. Real good job. I think what you're going to see from that team is that no matter who they put at QB, I think they're going to be okay.
Now, Economidis comes back on Thursday against La Jolla. La Jolla's had his troubles. This is what you call a get-well game for the Jags, because I still believe that team has a chance to be in the race. In fact, they're not out of it yet. Psychologically, though, man, getting pounded a couple of times like that, they just got to turn the page and move on. They got to pound somebody, and it may be La Jolla, it may not, but it would be nice for them if it were.
Yeah, and I think this is one of those games where, when we talk about righting the ship, getting things right, fine-tuning stuff, this is that game. It's a feel-good game.
So if you win, you're 2-2, right? No, let's see. If you win, Economidis would then be 2-2. You're fine, because that means you can go one game over 500 and make the playoffs. And I would suggest that maybe even 4-4 gets you in. You don't want to start lowballing it like that and saying, well, if we don't win, you want to win this game in front of you. See the media and some of the fans, we talk about this week and that week, they're just worried about La Jolla. They're looking at La Jolla films. They got the JVs or the freshmen run La Jolla's offense. They're not worried about the playoffs right now. They just want to play good football this week. I feel like Economidis come back strong.
I think so too. I think this is a great game for them to have right now. I don't want to say it's like a bye week, but
they need it, man. They need to get back on track. Well, anytime you get beat 54-0, man, you got to get through with that quick, because that's no fun.
Yeah.
Well, let's go back, and we'll circle back to Sharyland for a second, because we're going to talk about our scholar athlete. We told you that they have about 27 good receivers. Brandon Goddess is one of them, and apparently he's been exemplary in all ways this semester, and we wish him the best.